Jesus himself modeled for us habits and rhythms of life. Some things we learn from Jesus by what he said, other things we learn by what he did, the way he lived, how he walked. Jesus prioritized time alone with his Father. He would retreat, rest, linger, and return to the noise of the world around him. Jesus asks us to follow him, his way of doing things. This is one of them. Retreat, rest, linger, and return. Right from the start of his ministry, we see this pattern begin to unfold. In Mark chapter 1, Jesus had been healing and setting people free, and it says in verse 28 that his fame spread everywhere. Everyone was hearing about Jesus. And while Jesus was having a meal at Peter and Andrew's home, we read a few verses later, in verse 32, it says, "That evening at sundown, they brought to him all who were sick or oppressed by demons, and the whole city was gathered together at the door. And he healed many who were sick with various diseases and cast out many demons. And he would not permit the demons to speak because they knew him. And rising very early in the morning, while it was still dark, he departed and went out to a desolate place. And there he prayed. And Simon and those who were searching for him, and they found him and said to him, 'Everyone is looking for you.' And he said to them, 'Let us go on to the next towns, that I may preach there also, for that is why I came out.'" And we read that in verses 32 to 38. Retreat, rest, linger, and return. Can you believe it? The whole city was gathered together at the door, and Jesus slips away. Everyone was looking for Jesus. But after his time in prayer, after his time alone with the Father, he came back refreshed and with clear direction. I love how Jesus wasn't going to be pressured by the crowd, by need, or by his disciples. Jesus walked with conviction, peace, and a heavenly perspective from his time spent alone with the Father. Retreat, rest, linger, and return. This wasn't a one-off thing for Jesus. It was a lifestyle. Jesus regularly escaped the noise and frenzy of society to be alone with his Father, where he could give him his full attention. We read in Luke chapter 5, verse 16, it says, Jesus often withdrew to lonely places and prayed. We read in Luke chapter 6, verse 12, Jesus went out to a mountainside to pray and spent the night praying to God. In Mathew chapter 14, verse 23, it says that he went up on the mountain by himself to pray. When evening came, he was there alone. Even though Jesus was sinless, he required alone time in prayer to simply be and rest. Who am I to think that I can do life well without time alone with God? Jesus invites you to come away with him and rest a while. He says, let's go off by ourselves to a quiet place and rest a while. We read that in Mark chapter 6, verse 31. I pray, as you take Jesus up on his offer, that his living water refreshes your thirsty soul. Retreat, rest, linger, and return and shine brightly. God bless you.